Elliot followed Dakota down the steps to the front door. "You can drop the act now that you're leaving. Admit it, I was a place to stay and free food. My friends were right about you from the beginning." "Oh, come on, don't be like that. We had fun. What more did you want?" "Love. A home." But that dream once again had been shunted aside as reality slapped him in the face. What Elliot wanted didn't matter. It never had. There had been Nathan, who'd said he was working on his novel, but had spent most of his time playing video games. Larry couldn't hold a job, always blaming everyone else when he got fired, even though he'd rarely woken up before 10 in the morning. Elliot had thought maybe Allie was someone he could make a go at it with, until he'd decided to tie Elliot up one night and shove a ball gag in his mouth, claiming it was a fun way to have sex. Not for Elliot. Dakota had now joined the long list of guys who'd used Elliot, or abused his good nature by taking advantage of him. "What I want now is for you to leave." Dakota held up his phone. "My car is coming in 5 minutes." Elliot opened his front door. "You can wait outside." Dakota's eyes popped open, comically wide. "But it's winter. It's dark and cold outside. Look." He pointed to the street. "It's even starting to snow." "Suck it up, Buttercup. You chose to spring this on me tonight. You don't live here anymore." With a strength of conviction he hadn't known he possessed, he picked up Dakota's suitcase and tossed it onto his porch. "Out." "This is the real reason I'm leaving. Your negativity is bleeding through your soul. Learn to be positive, Elliot." Elliot bared his teeth in a forced smile. "I am. I'm positive you need to leave right now and wait outside on the porch. See how I'm changing?" Dakota mumbled, "Whatever," and walked out. Elliot banged the door and winced, remembering it had a glass front. The last thing he needed was to have broken glass all over the place. He still hadn't fixed the lock on the front window. Every time the wind blew, it rattled and let the cold air inside. He'd asked Dakota to try and fix it, but of course that had never come to pass. A car door slammed in front of his house, and he peeked through the living room window to see a sedan drive away, its taillights shining red in the darkness until they faded from view. Another relationship down the drain. Another failure. Elliot flopped onto the couch and pillowed his head in his hands. He should be used to it by now, but he hated being alone. He wanted to drown his sorrows. Maybe I should call the guys. They'll be thrilled to hear we broke up. He pulled out his phone, but the thought of explaining to his sharp-tongued friends why his boyfriend left him burned a hot trail of humiliation inside him, and he tossed the idea aside. God, I can imagine how they'll laugh at me. They were right all along, as usual. Wolf had even said Dakota was looking for a rich sugar daddy. You're more like a low-calorie stand-in until the rich one with the fatter bank account comes along. Elliot winced, recalling how he'd stormed out of that particular dinner with his friends less than a month ago, standing up for Dakota rather than listening to the people who knew him best. On his return home, he'd relayed the story to Dakota, who'd reassured him how wrong they all were, and that he was there to stay. They never liked me. They're jealous they can't control you and tell you what to do. They're wrong, and we're going to show them. But they were right. They had seen it from the start, not only with Dakota, but with all the guys he'd been with. Elliot should have known it would all come crashing down. No boyfriend ever stayed, no matter how hard he tried. His parents had left too, forced to retire due to his father's respiratory illness, and had moved to Arizona for the more temperate climate. The only ones who'd always been there for him were his best friends from college, Spencer, Wolf, and Chess.